Once upon a time, in a little town where flowers danced happily in the breeze and rivers glistened in the sunlight, there lived a little boy named Hunter. Hunter loved to explore with his best friend Carter. They spent their days playing in sunny meadows, climbing tall trees, and even looking at funny shapes in the clouds. One day, as the sun painted the sky with warm colors, Hunter said, "Carter, what if we could be superheroes and use superpowers to help animals?" Carter's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Hunter, that would be amazing," said Carter. "We could rescue kittens from trees and guide lost puppies back home." With big dreams in their hearts, Hunter and Carter closed their eyes and imagined the coolest superpowers. Hunter imagined that he could talk to animals and understand what they were saying. Carter imagined that he could fly through the air by controlling the wind. Suddenly, as Hunter and Carter opened their eyes, they saw an old lady with a kind face standing next to them. Her name was Mrs. Willow, and she lived in a special place where flowers whispered secrets and trees shared stories. Mrs. Willow greeted them with a friendly smile. "You must be the brave little heroes that I've been waiting for," she said warmly. "I'm very happy to meet you both." Hunter and Carter looked at each other in amazement. "You knew that we were coming," said Hunter, his eyes wide like moons. Mrs. Willow chuckled gently. "Oh yes, my dears. I have a special feeling about these things. I know that you want to help animals and be the superheroes that they need." Mrs. Willow asked Hunter and Carter if they wanted her to help them. Hunter and Carter eagerly said yes. And so, with Mrs. Willow's guidance, Hunter and Carter learned about the magic of nature. She taught them how to listen to the messages from the sound of rustling leaves and to feel the gentle breeze on their skin. She helped them understand how to care for all animals and plants and trees. They practiced using their imaginations by closing their eyes and thinking of all the animals that they wanted to help, and discovered that their superpowers were real. Hunter discovered he could understand animals' thoughts. Birds chirped stories for him, and bunnies hopped to say hello. Carter found he could make the wind dance and lift him up like a kite. One heavenly night, under the twinkling stars, Mrs. Willow said, "My little superheroes, it's time for your first adventure. Are you ready?" Hunter and Carter nodded eagerly, their hearts racing like galloping horses. Mrs. Willow took them to a special place in the forest where a deer with sad eyes wasn't feeling well and needed help. "Hunter, close your eyes and feel your heart," Mrs. Willow said. "Carter, close your eyes and let the wind come to you." Hunter and Carter did as they were told. Hunter's hands started to glow, and he gently touched the deer. Carter's arms reached out, and the wind brushed against his fingers. With a touch of their superpowers, they started to help the deer feel better. Hunter's light circled around the deer like a warm hug. Carter's wind blew softly, making the deer feel safe. Slowly, the deer's eyes brightened, and it stood up, feeling strong again. Hunter and Carter giggled with joy, knowing that they had done something wonderful. Hunter and Carter were so excited that they wanted to do more to help the animals. So Mrs. Willow led them to a wide clearing in the forest, where they saw a group of animals huddled together, looking worried. A big storm was coming, and the animals needed help to find a safe place. Hunter closed his eyes, his heart full of compassion. He reached out to the animals with his special power, letting them know that they were there to help. He could sense their fear and confusion, but he also felt their trust in him. Carter raised his arms to the sky, feeling the wind around him. He whispered to the wind, asking for its help to build a shelter for the animals. The wind listened, swirling around fallen leaves and branches, forming a cozy hiding place. But then the wind started to blow stronger, and the leaves and branches flew in all directions. The animals began to get scared, and Hunter and Carter knew they had to find a way to control the wind and make it gentle. Carter held his hands out to the wind and concentrated hard on his superpower and spoke softly, "Wind, we need your help to keep the animals safe. Can you please be gentle?" Hunter joined in, his words carrying softly over the gusts. "We know that you're strong, Wind, but we need you to be kind to the animals." And just like that, As if hearing their request, the wind calmed down. It swirled around the animals, creating a safe and cozy shelter without blowing things away. With the wind now gentle, the animals felt safe and cuddled up in the shelter that Hunter and Carter had created. Hunter and Carter looked at each other, proud and relieved. They had faced a challenge together and found a way to make their superpowers work in harmony. As the storm passed and the animals ventured out of their shelter, Mrs. Willow smiled happily at Hunter and Carter. You see, my little superheroes, challenges can be overcome when you use your powers with kindness and teamwork. And so, as Hunter and Carter watched the animals play and chatter happily, they knew that they had truly become superheroes and promised their animal friends that anytime the animals needed help, all they had to do was think of their superhero friends, and they would be there in a heartbeat. So remember, when you see animals playing happily or feel a gentle breeze, think of Hunter and Carter, the little superheroes who taught us that with big hearts and a little magic, we can overcome any challenge and make the world a better place for everyone.